Good morning, y'all. Abigail Klutz here from Kansas City. It is so great. I love Monday mornings. I love waking up with y'all there. Who's excited to get started on crushing this week? Awesome. Good. Oh, yeah, two hands, jazz hands. Awesome. Hey, guys, before we get started, I want to start today with some recognitions because it has been an awesome weekend, and so many people are just working their tails off. So right now I want to recognize Joel Prowl for rank 2, Sherry Leon, Go Pro, Brooke Kane, Go Pro, rank 2 for Carissa McDonald, Go Pro and MVP in rank 2, Dee Dee Snyder and Julie Sutton for MVP, Sarah Tucker, Go Pro, Jennifer Hooper, rank 2, Craig Vinn, rank 2, same, Sarah Tucker, Go Pro. A lot of the same people recognizing people. I'll get it organized. Jamie Seaman, rank 2. Jamie Floors, rank 2. Kathy Meridian, just rank 2. Amar Ali, MVP. Paola Fafores, you guys are making it hard on me. MVP, that's okay. My last name is Klutz. Catherine McRae, rank 3. Cheryl Tesposky, rank 4. Awesome. Mandy Chapman, Go Pro. Samantha Scher, MVP. Michael Scher, MVP. Courtney Reinhard, rank 5. Keep going, Courtney, almost there. Regina Smith, rank 3. Awesome, guys. Great. So great way to start off. Everybody kind of give them the silent. Brian, you can shake it. The ketones, that's kind of, yeah, he's hitting the cardio. Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm so fired up coming back from Dallas, and I just, you know, there's so much that I could talk about, and I kept telling Brian, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this, but he's like gonna, you know, I got the 20-minute rule always laid on me, so I'm going to save all these little passions I have that I think will help fire everyone up, and we'll segment them. But what was on my mind today was a technique that I learned. Many of you know we went to Dallas. We had a huge Keto 101 meeting, then prover training. It was amazing. And let me tell you this, guys, any time that you can get to an event, it doesn't have to be regionals. It doesn't have to be the conference. Like when there are huddles in local cities, even if you don't have anyone in the market, I had people showing up there. And the most powerful thing that sometimes happens is after these 101 workshops, we're in Brian James's suite ordering food and doing goal setting, team training, relationship building. We're doing Zoom huddles. I had some people there who the next day, I'm literally showing them how to come into a place with me and cold recruit at a Pilates studio. Selena Trabick and I, we were firing each other up. We had extra time the day before the event started. We went to get our hair done together. Then we went to another store to get makeup done. And every place we went to, we came out with leads. And so it's like you do this every day, sometimes by yourself. What does it look like to show up to places? Anna Dornier, she was at the conference. She met a friend. She included that friend in huddles with us later, like Uber rides together where you get to hear someone else talking to the Uber guy. You know, I know Selena and I ended up having 3 girls we met that day out and about show up that night at the Dallas W Keto 101. And then she met another girl at the conference on Friday who she brought to the lab tour, who she spent about 6 hours with and got around all the energy and huddles of other people, signed an experience pack, got her trained, getting her launched up and going. What's it look like for you to just fly in and be around energy, mentors, third-party validation? I probably, with my follow-ups this week, may have 4 new experience packs from the cold recruiting I did because I was inspired by the energy. I was around people doing the same thing. I was watching, yes, Sylvia, get on her phone and go at it. And it, like, you're just inspired. You're just there and you want to do more and you want to get better and you want to push yourself out of that comfort zone. So, you know, Utah is the next event coming up. You know what I did in Dallas? I knew we were going to Dallas. I was cold recruiting for 2 weeks into the Dallas market. I ended up meeting people who didn't show up, but had referred their friends to me that I was able to briefly meet with or get samples to. So if you know there's a city coming up, why not target in? You know, arrive there a day early and see the kind of damage you can do with inviting them to a meeting that night. It's contagious. We are all leading with leads and new promoters in our business that we had no idea we would gain just being in that environment at that event and being inspired to step out of comfort zones and do some more recruiting. I had a teammate, you know, who was hearing a lot of things in the training. And she said, I just can't identify with recruiting people the way he does. And I said, okay, could you do this? And I said, watch me. And I went over and I sat down next to a girl in the lobby. And I just started talking with her. And we sat there and we talked for 45 minutes. She watched me go sit down and build a relationship with a random stranger. And what ended up happening was that girl got samples and she wants me to come out to Chicago and get into her network and start building with her. And all I was doing was showing my friend how it can be organic, how it can be natural, how it doesn't have to be awkward and weird, and that it all starts in just what I'm going to share with you today, a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique that I learned at the conference on Friday. All I had to do was sit down and just get outside myself, get past the fear of rejection, and just start freaking talking to someone. Figure out what their pain point is. Figure out what their needs are. And then share with them, because I have an answer for everything. I do. You do. We have the answer for everything. But we have to be willing to open our mouths and get outside ourselves. Build relationships. And the minute you stop doing that, the minute your business dies. And I always tell people, if you want recruiters on your team, you have to go 110% and your team will follow you at 75%. So if you're in management mode right now and you're just calling team huddles to just meet for the sake of meeting, stop it. Stop that. There's nothing your team needs from you outside these training calls. They don't need FAQ questions answered. They don't need you to motivate and fire them up. We'll do that here as a collaborative group. They need to see you too busy to have a little powwow huddle where nobody's bringing anyone new the next week, right? If you're stagnant and you are just meeting with people for the sake of meeting with people, stop. You're wasting their time and you're setting a precedence among your team that's lazy. All right, I don't have time to do a team huddle with the 5 of you every single week if you're not adding a new person to our huddle, right? We got to go out and we got to get people. We got to stop getting in management mode. Your team will recruit when you're too busy to just talk with them about nothing that's productive in your business. All right, so what I want to share with you, because this business always comes back to getting past your fears and yourself. It's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. And so on Friday, we went to a Success Live meeting. Honestly, guys, I was so proud of Brian Underwood and leadership team. I was so proud of the decision to collaborate and partner with this group of people. And I was so proud that they called us in to get this training, because it's training that just absolutely shifted my mindset and set me on fire. It wasn't, it wasn't a prove it event, but I got to hear from the greatest thought leaders, entrepreneurs, success stories, people overcoming things in the world. And all these people were entrepreneurs in their own way, shape, and form. And the energy was contagious. And I walked away with so many new resources for leadership, personal development. But one of the things that I've already been using, and I've been, some of my teammates who are there, I've been saying it to them, it's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the 5-second rule. Okay. And here's how it looks. Okay. There's a person that's about to sit down next to me on the plane. Yeah, people need to avoid me on a plane because they're going to get it. In fact, I was thinking the other day, if I travel with my team, I won't let them sit by me on an airplane, because every plane ride I take, I get a new customer or a promoter. And that's the goal, getting on that plane. Okay. You have somebody captivated who can't leave you. And if you didn't see my Facebook Live video, if you need to really get their attention, you can explode ketones on them. But okay, here's how the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 works. All right. Sit down on the plane. You have to initiate a conversation. Your gut says, I want to talk to them about ketones, right? Don't you want to talk to everybody about ketones, especially someone you're sitting right next to? And if you think about it, you're going to talk yourself out of it. How many of you have so many times talked yourself out of bringing up the conversation because you're scared of how they will feel about you? Okay, here's what you do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go. That's it. And there is something scientific and powerful. We have a spot in our brain that is full of, it's the negative emotions. It's the, and literally this woman used this, here's the book. It's called The 5-Second Rule. And I think this could be one of the most powerful tools you could have in your business, because it is within those 5 seconds that you will either start a conversation or you will let your fears and insecurities get in the way. And so what this lady did is, one day she had fallen into a state of depression, alcohol, sleeping in, barely making up, being that mom that shows up in pajamas 10 minutes late. Like, her whole life was just messy and out of control. And one morning she was laying in bed and she just, it was a winter cold morning, and she just went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then she jumped out of the bed. And then she was like, wow, how did that happen? And she kept using that to move on with her day. Everything that had been slow, lazy, things inhibiting her, she used that technique of counting down backwards, and it started working. And then she did a speech on it, and everybody thought it was genius. And so then they started with the science discoveries of it. And what they saw is there's like this color on the scans of the brain. It was enlarged. And once she started counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 backwards, that large and colored spot that was it was the bad feeling, it was the negative, it moved all to the cerebral cortex in the front, and it lit up. And it gave energy and endorphins and excitement. And so anything that you have a gut instinct on, any desire you have to do something, go do it. Count down and make yourself do it. And then it will be a habit that forms in your life of being a doer and not a thinker, and not a talk yourself out of it. I'm so sick of people talking out their mouths on what they're gonna do. I don't want to hear it anymore. You be a doer. You just go do it. If you want to walk into that salon and shake up a bottle of ketones and dose all the ladies in there, go get out of your car, say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go do it. Stop worrying about what it looks like if they think you're silly. You don't have to go in there ever again. This lady, I'm sitting on a plane, she'll either reject me and I don't have to see her ever again, or we will find a product for her grandson who is having seizures, who the medical professionals have not even touched diet with ketogenic or ketones. And I'm sitting there sharing with her TED Talks. Dom, that we've been to the epileptic conference this year in Banff, Canada. She's crying. She's crying at the end of our plane ride conversation. She was $1 million income earner with Herbalife, and her entire family was, and they haven't been doing it. She knows how to do MLM, but they stopped doing it because there was a child with epileptic seizures in their family, and it was taking away too much, and they wanted to find a solution for him. And I sat there on the plane and I prayed that God would put beside me somebody who would be blessed by this technology. And he sat that woman next to me, and I went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey. And I started a conversation, and that's where it led. How many times are you sitting on a gut instinct that you got to say something to somebody? All right. Whoo, who's fired up? Okay, awesome, good. Okay, now let's get in right now to the innate challenge with the rest of the time that we have left. Okay, I got about 6 minutes. So just kind of a show of hands, how many of you in here were, and I'm just going to be straight because you know that's how I am with you guys. How many of you in here were just a little bit bummed when you heard that the challenge was going to postpone a week? Show of hands. Okay. Okay, awesome. My first gut instinct was, and then the second thing I did was think, how can I make this positive? How can I make this positive? Because I actually had a couple negative texts come in at me, and it right away, it shifted my mentality to time to step up. Because if I have people on my team that feel a little negative, I got to shift my mindset right here and right now, because that's what I do as a leader. And if you're on this call today, mindset begins with you. And all I can think about right now is how positive it is that there's going to be another week to recruit into it. Because I'm a businesswoman, and this company, this opportunity for the N8, it's a leveraging business move. All right. So even though, hey, guess what? I had eaten 3 donuts yesterday morning because I was going to wake up today and start the N8 challenge. You know what? I still am. And you can too. There's nothing, shut up, Brian. There's nothing that you don't know right now that you can't start doing. All right. You know you can wake up and drink the ketones. You know you don't need to eat sugar and carbs on the keto N8. You know you could do intermittent fasting and drink the ketones at 10:30. You know you could have a high-fat, moderate protein meal. Like, y'all know what to do. So start today with yourself and become a cheerleader on moving this extra week to gain more business. If you have people that you've brought into the keto challenge that don't have the mindset, that thought, I know that's probably more of your biggest concern, is that you told people it would start Monday. Guess what? It is starting today. It is starting today. That's as far as they need to know, that it is starting today. We're doing training calls. We're starting with mindset coaching. If you were on the call last night with Manning, you know that all we have to do is position ourselves to say, hey, anytime before you start a nutritional challenge, the most important thing that you can do is get your head there. So week 1, it's getting our head there. It's a journey. It doesn't happen like that. I've ran groups before where I have a pre-week. I'm not laying down the diet and exactly what to do, but I'm talking about why we're going to do it. I'm building into it so that when we hardcore start it, there's the mindset that's already there. And that starts with you to pull together the people who have already signed up for it and engage them into the calls in the community where they're going to get that value. And thank God we have another week to recruit into it. Because I don't know about you, but who wants a little bit more volume in their business by the end of the month? How many of you need to rank up? All right, so this is it right here. All right, we would have missed it had they closed it down last night at midnight. So I'm going to utilize the heck out of it. I'm so excited. I got another week. And right now, they're making changes. Guys, I've taken on almost 57 women at once before to launch a 90-day challenge. And I've had at times to postpone it another week and another week because I couldn't handle it all at once. I would rather us build into this and have the time to do it right and have things come together awesome. I'd rather have the week of mindset mental training and to help people get excited and fire up at it than to just start and lose the ability to recruit into it more and to do the inspirational part with mindset. Because after running nutrition groups for about 5 years, I know that your people will get the most success if they gauge into this week and get their minds right. So the fact that we're starting here, building in with all these inspirational calls and mindset training, that will be the most powerful thing that we can serve people with in order to get them ready next week. So you be the leader, you huddle up those people. They're in your business. They bought from you the N8 challenge, okay? And if you bought it yourself, well, you're a leader if you're on this call. So you find a way to go out. Hi. What is going on? Do you guys see this? Sarah Jean Rosner? Okay, weird. All right. So guys, this is something that we just need to utilize, put a positive spin on, be leaders. Don't let anyone in your organization bring down the attitude or have negative talk. It starts with you, and whatever you put out there is what your people are going to have. All right. So give them a grocery list, help them out. You all know what to do on a keto and N8. You know what it takes for success if you've been here for a while. You lead them. Okay. You set the pace. And really, with that being said, I want to read a little bit something to close out on leadership. Here's, there's a whole new level leadership, a new method. Here's what it's called: leadership by invitation, not leadership by threat, not leadership by intimidation. That shows the weakness of the leader or shows ego at work instead of skills. Leadership by invitation. Invite somebody to a better way of doing things, a better way of thinking. Here's what else it's called: leadership by inspiration. How many people can you lead and inspire in them this week? Inspire somebody to make the necessary changes to move up, get fit, or get the job done. As leaders, we inspire. As leaders, we entice. As leaders, we invite, entice, inspire. Are you going to do that this week using the Keto N8? Are you going to invite? Are you going to entice them with the changes that they can make and inspire them to step up their game, their health, to do this and change the rest of their life? But we don't threaten, okay? Learn to be strong, but not rude. There's always a thin line that you have to watch and make sure you don't cross. Learn to be strong, but not rude. When people are pulling at you for information and details and we just don't have it yet, I can't tell you how many text messages I got yesterday that people were distracting me from inspiring and enticing. And I'm still, yesterday, I didn't think it was shutting down till midnight. I'm busy inspiring and enticing people to join the N8. And I got some of my own leaders texting in negative stuff and wanting details. But the company came out at 10 o'clock last night and they gave everything we needed, right? We just got to stay inspired. We got to stay enticing. We got to stay engaged, and we got to stay recruiting. We got to stay focused on what the big picture is and what the important thing is for our business. Learn to be strong, but not rude. Channel that. All right. Channel people pulling at you. Channel their behavior. Hey, sorry, I don't have the details right now. I'm too slammed trying to talk to about 3 people about joining. All right. Like, lead by your action in your activity. Rudeness we don't need. Strength we do. So be kind, but don't be weak. Lead by example, lead by action, lead by energy. Go build relationships. You go bring in more people to this Keto 8 challenge with the time and blessing that you've been given to grow this business in the next week before the new month ends. With that being said, tonight, stay to play, and we'll see you tomorrow morning back on training. Have a good one.
Thanks, Abigail.
Thanks, Abby.
Thanks, Abigail.
Awesome as always.
Thanks, Abigail.
Thanks, Abigail.
Thanks,
Thank
Abigail.
you.